In northern Nigeria, they've already rolled out the money. See, in the coming days, you are likely going to see some people, right, vandalizing the houses of some clerics in northern Nigeria. It has gotten to that boiling point, I have to tell you. So right now, the effort is to see how much they can convince the parents to stop their children, because what they want to ask for is impossible. Asking Tinubu to reduce that is not possible. Tinubu is doing everything to reduce it. The people should pray for him. But do you know what is actually really coming? Which somehow, that one hasn't really spread yet. Okay? It is not Tinubu that must go. Okay? When you are preparing to join any of their outing there, don't join them because they are calling for Tinubu to go. No, not just that. You have to join them to call for the removal of all of the 36 state governors, dissolve all the state government, dissolve the federal and all of that, right? And by so doing, you have a chance, a very great, beautiful chance to reverse all of your losses. You could end up, for the first step, ensure that over 10,000 duplicative positions they have created, filled with over 60,000, scroungers across the system. If you can actually uproot that, then you will change the course of history, change the destiny of the generations yet unborn. The majority of what we want will actually be granted. And that is where this is going. And that is why they are using their churches now. They will use your church. They will use your mosque. If your pastor begins to tell you or preach against you standing up or hitting the streets, if anybody comes on your social media and they begin to threaten you or begin to call you names or begin to blame you for the problems of Nigeria or begin to gaslight you, just know that those are the activated people. Same Amechi had this to say, remember, they rig you. You don't even have the power to choose those who actually lead you. Man, the moment you have no power to choose who lead you, that means they've taken everything from you. You cannot get that back peacefully. There is nothing called peaceful protest. I'm saying that to you right now. So it is better you prepare yourself. The violence that is going to happen when this whole shit hit the fan is not going to be you. So phase one, use the religious bodies to warn the people instead of standing up and getting rid of these rogues. They will use their religion and that tribe, that ethnic. So you tell me, which of you or which ethnic or tribe is actually having it easy? Which religion is having it easy and safe in Nigeria as we speak? Which of you? They told you to go and pray because they know there are moose that will indeed turn to prayer warriors. They are sky daddy. Amechi said it again after your 2023 charade. Leave the guy. Listen to what he had to say. It's from the inside. After going there to have his own loot, well secured, at least. Now he's a philosopher. He said this, remember?
We had written to INEC. This INEC staff in Rivers State are paid every month from resident electoral commissioner down salaries every month. And we wrote, and INEC did not deny that. So what does he want me to do? The laws are there. Those who enforce the laws are the police. And if they are not enforcing the laws, what do you want me to do? Run to the front of the train and die? In fact, and I even am wondering why I actually spoke. Because I've actually given up.
Sorry to
given up.
Sorry to butt in here. Nigerians want to know why you oppose. If you say you oppose the appointment of the INEC chair at that point in time, there must be a reason or reasons why you did that.
I said capacity. I've already answered the Suleiman. I said capacity. And I wasn't wrong. Suleiman was election free and fair. I like to stop talking because I've been advised by some of my friends that I should continue to keep the dignified silence. That's why I'm a member of APC.
A dignified silence for a statesman like yourself, I mean, you have earned that. For Nigeria, how would it, pay Nigeria if people like you, decide to keep silent when you have from a vantage point to see the wrongs in the system and you have the opportunity to help fix those challenges? Why are you shying away from that?
Because you and I have had this conversation before. You and I have had this conversation in private, and you try to persuade me not to keep silence. And my lawyer continues to say I should keep silence, and I've been keeping silent. The reason is simple. Even the Nigerians you want to speak on their behalf, do they care? And do the society care about the fact that these are the things you're saying, that things are wrong? When I was the governor, I spoke at the Freedom Park in Lagos, and I said, the reason why all of us, I include myself, the reason why the elite steal Nigeria is because the public, the poor man has refused to stone them. of stoners. I said that at the Freedom Park, right? So what do you want me to say? What's new? Do you want me to say that I've not said before? I asked you this question when we had this conversation privately. I just came out. I didn't want to speak. My position was go back to school, continue to face your academics and all that. I'm in law school, continue to focus on that and ignore what's going on. But I came out because how can you stay in Port Harcourt and one young man will just sit down, write names of people to be arrested, and the police goes to arrest? No crime. There has to be a crime for you to arrest somebody. The only person who has
is it not because impunity has been allowed to have a free reign since 1999 when this, the democratic process started, and now things seem to be getting to a head? I mean, you were a two-term campaign DG of, President Muhammadu Buhari, or the APC, if you like.
I am not the president. I am not the president. Only the president can call the IG to question. Only the president can say, for Christ's sake, what's going on in Port Harcourt? What's going on over the country? Why are the police compromised? Many is not hiding it.
Well, many also thought that what was he trying to say? You're very close to him, once a speaker, two-time governor, minister, and of course you also hold a title in his home state. And the title is a trustworthy one. It's a weighty one. So people expect you to help the nation.
Be up front.
Suleiman, can we cut off this interview? I don't want to continue the interview. I just don't want to continue the interview because there's nothing new to say that I've not said before. Absolutely nothing.
All right. He's right. Even if you want to say, I don't know what you probably see it as anyway, because I mean, he's right. He knows. What would they do? Nothing. And he continues to say, including myself. We do all these things. You can't choose your own leaders. You can't choose your own representatives. Your judiciary is gone. That should be a place where all madness are corrected. But that is now the headquarters of all the mad people. They've turned your law over its head. They've set their own rules, the rules of engagement. It is now about the highest bidder. It has never been so pronounced. Companies are leaving Nigeria and others are not coming simply because you do not have a reliable judicial system. You have judicial bandits now. The whole world watch them. Ignore the evidence against a drug heroin trafficker. A certificate forger violates all the rules and is the president. The world watched and saw that. Now your electoral umpire, INEC, is filled with the Tinubu's loyalists, APC, card carrying members. Like card carrying members of APC. They are the electoral commissioners for INEC. You saw the headline, you saw all of that, and everybody just move on. Your police, your military. I mean, this afternoon I shared a video where they were trying to empower a committee to stop the Nigeria service chiefs from using the money meant for defense, from using the money to build university or use it for their own personal use. National Assembly is trying to empower a committee to beg the military chiefs not to use the defense fund. You don't have a country. That's one thing everybody should understand now. The achievement of these criminals is to monetize every problem. Insurgency, terrorism, that started in Borno State has now enveloped the entire 36 states of Nigeria. People are dying left, right, and center because of these terrorists. And the criminals are boldly celebrating rehabilitated terrorists in front of you till tomorrow. They are still posting, their media are still posting repentant terrorists, repentant terrorists. You don't have a country. And that is why it is really, really very stupid to be asking for Tinubu to reduce the price of food as your reason for going out there to protest or something. So if a pastor says, the Lord will provide, the children of God will never lack. There is no amount of hardship in this country, the children of God will never lack. I mean, if you stone that pastor in that your church, God will even clap for you. Do you know that? Oh, you don't know? Okay, I'm telling you right now. Yeah. I've seen it before. I mean, what does that even mean? People are facing serious economic hardship. Somebody is standing in front of you talking about prosperity, spiritual prosperity that will lift you out of all the hardship. And to make the matter worse, they possibly are going to tell you Don't join them because protesters are going to destroy this country. They are going to burn properties. That is the stage 2, in case if you don't know. Stage 1 is to use religion. They are already doing it in the north. I'm using church now because that's what they will do in the south. You know RCCG now? People will travel without aeroplane. You will go to London without aeroplane. They have commissioned them too.
You won't need a car to travel. You won't need an aeroplane to travel. You will just say, I want to go to London. And you'll be in London. Whether you believe it or not, the time is coming when you won't.
Whether you believe it or not. Here is another fraud. It's a pandemic. Do you remember him, Mr. Patantami? It's a pandemic. Before Bukwari appointed him and he ended up, oh no, man.
Annabi tsira da aminci sabbata a gare shi yace duk ran da aka waye gari azzalimi zai yi zalunci ba wanda zai kalli idan sa yace kai zalunci yace cikin kasa ya fi alheri da bayan kasar. Wallahi kada Allah ya nuna mana lokacin ran da Allah zai kawo ranar da za a yi zalunci a Najeriya. Fantani ba zai ce an yi zalunci ba. Ya Allah ka dauki rayuwa ta kawo lokacin. Ya Allah duk ran da ba zan iya cewa an yi zalunci.
Ya Allah duk ran da Nigeria, he was crying in front of the gullibles. This was before Bokwari's. This was when they were grooming people for Bokwari's change in northern Nigeria. He got rewarded. He became a minister. A terrorist became a minister in Nigeria, and he's not just a minister. He became the minister of communication, monitoring all the phone calls, text messages, emails, postal orders, every mean of communication that exists. He became the man in charge. They invested so much in so many spywares to spy on Nigerians and all that, but they never actually used those equipment to capture any of these terrorists who would kidnap people and then use the people's mobile phones to contact their family members for ransom. And because the terrorists were in charge of the communication, the business was running smoothly. They could track you if you say something about Bokwari at the time, but the same software couldn't track. The terrorists that were milking the citizens, killing them, harvesting their organs, and forcing them to sell their properties, to pay ransoms. Part of what actually wrecked a lot of people in northern Nigeria. So, the tradition continues. There are other different people there now. The Minister of Defense is from northern Nigeria, Jigawa. The Minister of State for Defense is from Zamfara, Patawale. And the insecurity in northern Nigeria is being blamed on Tifnumbu. They said Tifnumbu has abandoned them. And these guys are now those who have hired their clerics in northern Nigeria to convince these people, please, don't let anybody lie to you, okay? President Tifnumbu is doing so much. We know you can't see it yet, but it is a ram to go out there and join the protesters, because if you join these protesters, they will bring this country down. That's the kind of messages you'll be hearing soon. If you are not hearing it, if you have not started hearing them. This is what they are telling them in the north. Meanwhile, because the political class in northern Nigeria, they wanted to use the people for the next election. Sure you get. They wanted the people to wait till 2027. But they should stay angry. They should stay bitter. So they can use that for politics. But the problem right now is this. People that are talking about hitting the streets in northern Nigeria, they want to do it now. They don't want to wait till 2027. So, those who are on the side of Tifnumbu, those who have received appointments, who are part of the year, those ones are paying the clerics to tell the people that Tifnumbu will give them food. They are waiting for importation of food. Northern Nigeria will receive special treatment. They should not join any protest. Though. If they join the protest, they will bring this country down. Enemy of Nigeria, they will destroy Nigeria. The other opposition, I'm talking about those ones who conspired to make Tifnumbu president. And they lost out in the sharing formula. And they are regrouping right now. With the promise that they will take back the power for themselves. They want to be next time. And if this protest should go on, there may be no 2027. And they cannot afford that. They want to milk the system, but not this way. These two agents in northern Nigeria right now, they are the forces that are trying to make sure that even if you see anybody come out to say, having power in any part of northern Nigeria, they will not be enough to shake or change anything. All right? Also, the impression in northern Nigeria also is not that of the system has failed. They have been made to believe a Yoruba man is the best idiot. And that is why they are now suffering more. You get that now? So some of them, they want Tinubu gone. Maybe shitty man should be there. Why the remaining terrorists from northern Nigeria called governors, kleptomaniacs and criminals who are in charge of, who are their senators and reps, you know, the criminals who are milking them, okay, they would possibly want them to remain. At least some of them. Or you need the ideology, all of you wait to watch me from northern Nigeria, to prove to everybody that you are actually really ready and you are serious. It is not Tinubu that has to go alone. All of your state governors, you need to, in fact, when you stage your protests, you stage them at the government houses. I'm not part of those organizing all these protests, so I just want to make sure that everybody who is going to come across my video, they are going to understand that any fight at all, now fight, that a lot of you will prefer this way or that way. It should be done this way or that way. And because they don't do it your way or that way, you help to shut them down. So you get that thing. So I want you to, those of you who come across my video, to know that it doesn't really matter right now whether they are going to prove that they were tired or not. Whether the government or the regime, the criminals, are going to clamp down on them and kill them or not. That is going to be secondary. The first part is every time you try to badmouth it, every time you downplay it, you are indirectly and subconsciously doing the work of Tinubu. And I need you to know this, so you are doing it for free. Right now, there are millions, if not billions, of your naira that are being mobilized across the states in Nigeria right now in order to discourage people from ever gathering at all. Talk less of gathering enough number that will force these people to panic. So you get, they are paying people for it. So if you are going to tell people not to stand up, my friend, I don't believe in it. My friend, is all nonsense. That you want to say. I just need to remind you that even though you are doing it because of your supposed bias, no, nothing will happen. I agree. Let's agree that nothing will happen. But do you know that when you keep saying that, you are doing a free job for Tinubu and the people who put everybody in this mess? They are paying people to say that. But you are on social media, condemning it, saying how much is not going to happen, how much the people are useless, how the people can never come out. Like I said, you are saying them subconsciously because you believe it won't happen. But you know what you are doing? You are doing a free job for Tinubu and gang. People, they collect 50,000, 100,000 to say that on social media right now. And they have been hired. There are others that have been hired to come out in Lagos and Abuja and say that Nigeria is fine. Everything is fine. So, do you see yourself? If you are not being paid for it, then maybe you are just a proud Nigerian, a proud idiot. Who is a proud idiot? A proud idiot is a typical Nigerian who lives in a dysfunctional Nigeria, where, as it is himself, he is his own local government, mini local government. He provides his own housing. He provides his own security. He provides his own water, electricity. He provides his own medical care, and he provides the education of his own children, all paid for by a single person that's got nothing but to read about how trillions and trillions and trillions are being budgeted for the same thing, but he never had to see them. Then he turned around and he says, I am a proud Nigerian. And then you're like, God damn it, man. Or those ones who are like the patriotic Nigerians abroad. Those ones that every October 1st, I think that one is reducing now. Nigeria won't kill them, won't choke them, destroy them, change their destinies, and they decided to run away. And they found solace elsewhere, where they are more respected, treated with more dignity as a human. Now they found their appearing comfort. Every 1st of October from Canada, they will go and look for green, white, green, dress themselves like mannequins, dress their children. Then they will begin to take a photo session. The patriotic Nigerians from abroad that will never live in Nigeria. I love my country. From abroad, though. I love my country. I want Nigeria to, don't let us badmouth our country. They don't stop talking bad about your country. We should love our country from abroad. I love my country from abroad. And I'm a patriotic Nigerian, but they will never, ever, ever relocate anything they love back to that place. Ever, ever. No amount of